Hello. So today is a fusion of beers. It's the hoppiness, maybe citrusy or fruity, depending on the hops, element that you would expect with a pale ale or an IPA, and a clean, even crisp finish of a lager, also known as an IPL, an India Pale Lager. Now, I am not even going to attempt to pronounce that for fear of offending somebody, and inevitably I'm going to get it wrong. But it's called Western Approaches. It is a 5.1 India Pale Lager from Poland. No, from Czechia. Beg your pardon. And they've got a little graph here as well, which says that it's a balance of aroma, bitterness, carbonation, fullness, and aftertaste. Is it any good? Well, I have to say, I've had a few India Pale Lagers before, and you know my feelings of a lager. It's an often underrated beer because to get a lager right, like properly right, takes phenomenal skill, and there's no hiding away from it. And when it's right, it's delicious, it's glorious. So an India Pale Lager is, I don't know, I've always thought a bit of a fad, if I'm honest, and something that is just trying to appeal to different audiences. I get it. I understand it. It's using hops, using lager yeast, I imagine. And as you can see, it looks like an unfiltered lager in as much as you can see it's a little bit cloudy in there. But even before I bring it to my nose, you can see that it's got a bit of a strong nose to it. And it smells like a table beer. That's what it smells like, a table beer. A very low a low ABV, but with a little bit of character in there. You get a bit of malt. Table beer, but if I was doing this blind tasted, I'm not entirely sure how I describe it. Like I say, I've had a few of these before in the past. All right, so let's see how this stacks up with them. So first impressions, there's a bit of maltiness, a bit of caramel at the start, a little bit dank, but there's a lot more character than that. Do you get the clean, I don't know why I keep saying that, clean crispness of a lager? Do you get that refreshing finish of a lager? I'm not entirely sure you do. I mean, do you know what? Forget this part. The India Pale Lager part is largely irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure how I would label it outside of that. Maybe a pale. Because I'm not getting that lager freshness that you often get from a good lager. So I would scratch the fact that this is an India Pale Lager. And if you take that away, it is actually a lovely beer. It's a really lovely, flavoursome, malty, light, beer. It's whether it's called an IPL or a pale is irrelevant. Actually, this is really good. I love this beer. I think there's a huge amount of character to it. And it finishes on the mouth, just kind of a slight bitterness on there on the taste at the end, which is really enjoyable. So, yeah, irrelevant what it's called, it's really lovely beer. Yeah, on the IPLs, I would say it's the best one I've had so far. Yeah, what do you think?